Welcome to Research Talk. I hope you all are doing well. In our this new journey on understanding, exploring case study research design, we are going to explore a question, kind of a basic question that as a case study researcher, one should understand. So the question is, what is a case in a case study? Is it a person? Is it something else? What is a case? So we are going to explore this question in detail in this video. So a case in a case study context is a phenomenon with a bounded system. A phenomenon with a bounded system. So there are two words here, phenomenon and a bounded system. So let's unpack this. What is a phenomenon? A phenomenon is an event, a happening, something that you want to focus on. So that's a phenomenon in general sense. A bounded system is when you are looking at a phenomenon, you are bounding it with certain things. So you are bounding it maybe with time. You are bounding this phenomenon with maybe, let's say, with a location, time, person. So that's the meaning of a bounded system. So a case in a case study context is a phenomenon with a bounded system. Another way to understand what is a case in case study is a case is a unit of analysis, and you focus on this unit. Again, the unit is what means here that you are bounding it. So when you say a unit of analysis, it's like you are bounding the phenomenon. So a case in a case study is a phenomenon with a bounded system, a unit of analysis that you choose to focus, to explore in depth, to understand that particular phenomenon. So let's unpack it even more about the bounding process in a case study. How can you bound a case? So one example could be like the case could be bounded by an event. Let's say there is, I recently read a case study which was very interesting, in-depth case study on school shooting event. Authors, what they did, they focused on this one event at one school which happened, which was a school shooting event. And then they bound their case with this particular event which happened at a particular school, a particular location. So you bounded the case with event, a particular event, and a particular location, a school in this case. A case can also be bounded by, let's say, a program. Bounded by, so let's say you want to understand a particular, let's say, for example, a health program being implemented in, let's say, in a particular county, and you want to explore that particular health program for its effectiveness, how effective this particular program, health program is, and you want to understand in depth how it is affecting various stakeholders involved in that particular health plan. So now here you bound that phenomenon with a program in a particular county, a particular location. So you're bounded by two things, location and the type of program. So program is a particular health program being implemented by government to deliver health services. So you bounded it with these conditions. As you have already seen that location can be used as a bounding system, but there could be some studies where it is the location which is the main bounding factor. So let's say I want to understand, let's take the example of Jacksonville. I want to understand in-depth tourism in Jacksonville. So what I'm doing here, location is obviously Jacksonville. And then in Jacksonville, it's a big city, right? With all different things. But I want to focus on one particular aspect, which is tourism. So you are bounding it with the phenomenon, which is the tourism, but you are bounding it with location. Let's take another example of intervention. Here, the example is, let's say there is a school which is implementing a particular teaching intervention. Now, I can do a case study. The case will be this particular intervention at a particular school. So I'm using two criteria. One is this particular intervention, and then the location. I'm exploring it at a particular school. So that is case here. The case here is the intervention as well as the school, which is where it is being implemented. Case study also sometimes is unit of analysis is focused on individuals. And you can focus on one individual or multiple individuals who are your unit of analysis. And the bounding is the people here. So you can bound the case with people involved. People means one individual or multiple individuals who becomes a case here with that boundation. So people can become a bounding criteria when it comes to case. So let's come back to the question we started with. What is a case study? A case in a case study is a phenomenon with a bounded system. A phenomenon with a bounded system or a unit of analysis which focuses on that unit. And that unit, obviously, you need to bound it to understand the phenomenon in depth. Some other things to keep in mind when you think about a case in a case study design is case study research design provide you an opportunity to go very in-depth exploration. In-depth exploration, why, how? Because see here, when you are exploring, when you are designing your case, you are bounding it. So you are creating certain foundation. And when you are creating these foundations, you can decide, you have more control in terms of going deeper into the phenomenon. For instance, if I'm exploring, let's say there is a rare kind of medical condition and I'm planning a case study, so I can choose one individual and go deeper into overall experience, exploration of that particular medical condition with one individual. I can also do multiple individuals. In this case, I can compare also between participants. So since the participants, the unit of analysis here is very limited, it provides an opportunity to go deeper into the phenomenon of exploration that I'm trying to explore. Another positive thing related to what is a case and what it helps you to to do better is it helps you contextualize your research. So since your study is bounded by certain criteria, it helps you to really contextualize the findings, the exploration. Since you have limited participants to go deeper into their phenomenon, then you can collect data, all the contextual data related to the phenomenon that you are investigating, and get a better understanding of the phenomenon with all its contextual complexities that may be involved in the phenomenon. Since you are, as a case study researcher, focused on having a more contextual data, more in-depth exploration, you can focus on multiple sources of data. So we will explore it further, but right now just understand that as a case study researcher, you take your case, you bound the case, and you collect all kinds of data, different sources. It could be interviews, it could be documents, it could be observation, it could be artifacts. So you collect different sources of data, and these different sources helps you to develop an in-depth exploration as well as more contextual data around the phenomenon that you are investigating. So let's come back to the question we started with. What is a case in not in phenomenology, in case study? A case in case study is a phenomenon which is bounded by certain criteria, certain conditions, certain parameters. Those parameters could be an event, a program, location, particular intervention, people. So you can use different criteria to achieve a more in-depth explorations, more contextual data, different sources of data to have an in-depth exploration of the phenomenon. I hope this clarifies what is a case in case study research design. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again.